What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today I want to give you guys a few tips for the Merchant Caravan event that was part or is part of the timeless gala events that are currently going on in AFK Journey. Definitely recommend you check this out. Some of those events are pretty nice. We get festive presents, for example, where we get free loot and on top a copy of Pang. And then we have the timeless treasure where every day you get 3 draws. And keep in mind those only stack up to 6 draws, so you could be losing out on some loot here if you don't log in at least every 2 days, which I recommend because you get a free copy of Pandora, some summons for her, a ton of very nice cosmetics. You can see my first draws already got me the copy of Pandora there, and some very standard loot, but we're really going for those high rolls to cosmetics, so you can roll every single day. Title essence there this time. Again, so we're not getting a whole lot of luck here. What is that? Okay, we got the little hat, scarlet velvet hat. Doesn't really fit my set, but it's pretty cool. And then now let's hop into the Merchant Caravan, because this event also includes a ton of loot. You can make some mistakes with it, and there are some tricks. Well, one is might be a little bit of a bug that we are abusing. But you still want to do it because it gives you more loot. So, you're doing this quest shared moments that will wait for you in your quest log, so you can just go in there. We'll start with you meeting up Roan and then going back to some of the sites of the story. They put, for example, the Waves of Intrigue market back in here, so you can just go there. And sometimes it will ask you to complete a Merchant Caravan round or wait a day. And once you go in there, you can see you got your money basically, and you want to get more money because the more money you get, the more loot you can unlock. During my live stream that we recently did on Pandora, which you can still check out on my channel, we already managed to go up to 522k, which gave us 15 of the Pandora summons plus a ton of extra loot, like for example Temporal Essence. I can still get a few more, and then there are even Stellar Crystals, a very cool new frame, and some more Stellar Crystals, so 20 Stellar Crystals, a very nice title, the Merchant Tycoon title, and then on top of that, at the end you can get a ton of extra loot, and for that, of course, we want to get the max amount of money possible. The way you really do this is you enter the game mode. It will first give you a few of those explanations, and then you basically have your little Merchant Caravan, and this Merchant Caravan can stop at different stages during the story of the Uro settlement here from season 1, Holystone, or even Rustport, and then 2 more I've yet to unlock. And your Merchant Caravan has certain stats. For example, it has the cargo cap. Cargo cap is the amount of resources you can transport with your Merchant Caravan. It also has stamina. We are at 473 out of 420 stamina. 53 stamina that I left at the end of the last round carried over to this round, so I can still use them. So basically, once you end the round, the remaining stamina will be kept, and you will continue to start with max stamina plus the remaining stamina from the last round into the next round. So what is our goal during a round? Well, basically we want to make the most money possible, and to do this we can trade at the different outposts. Every single outpost has a trade station, and those trade stations that you can use here have different resources that you can buy for certain prices. Well, while this doesn't really tell you a whole lot, the prices are relevant once we get into the market overview. You can also sell your resources that you have right there. We see my profit here, minus 153. Wouldn't be too great, I reckon. Haven't seen that before. And in this round we also unlock the passenger feature. We can also take passengers, and this one, for example, wants to the Uro settlement, this one wants to go for Holystone, and this will also give us reputation. It's not always the easiest for us to go to certain settlements, because for you can see right here, to go from Rustport to the Uro settlement, we have to go to Holystone, which costs us 84 stamina, and then we have to go from Holystone to the Uro settlement, which is another 62 stamina. So it costs us a lot of our 473 stamina to go there, and sometimes this is just very, very expensive for us to go. For this one, we are going to take both of those passengers with us, and then we also want to check if there are active requests. Active requests always give you a little bit of a reputation for the settlement that you're in. So for example, this one is Rustport, where they want a little bit of hexaflower and glowfly fruit. Those are resources from Holystone, so while we are at Rustport, we can't exactly fulfill that. And then we have Smoky and Murky in the Uru settlement. They want Tune Sprout and Jolly Clam. Jolly Clam is a resource from Rustport, and this one is also from Rustport. So this one is something that we could buy, and then we could go to the Uru settlement and give it to Smokey, and usually this gives you a little bit more money than selling them outright at the settlement, while on top of that also leveling up the reputation you have at a certain settlement, which is always very, very helpful. Then we can always check for the fights, clear routes. You want to clear those, as those give you money. Those are certain fights that you just can do during the story, and they will unlock when you go through it. So this is, for example, at level 3 reputation, and once you reach that, you can also go ahead and get yourself another 22 gala coin very easily, so you would always want to check that out. Now let's go a little bit into the side where this all gets a bit buggy, and that is actually the escorts. Somehow they decided that the escorts can be buggy. Escorts you basically have available from the start. You will see that once you unlock the Uru settlement, Soren will join your team. Once you unlock Rustport, Sinbad will join your team. All of those have different effects. The second escort you unlock later, you can see there are lead escorts which grant a bigger effect than the smaller ones. This, for example, Soren increases your cargo cap by 20, while Rowan increases it by 5%. So you always want to have as many elites in there as possible if you want to go for a certain purpose. So for example, right now my goal is to have my cargo cap as high as possible, because my cargo cap influences how much loot I can really put into my bag, and that is currently what we are aiming for, and this is currently what we want. So we want to get as much really into our cargo as we can at of course the Rustport trade station, so that we can sell it for a lot in another station. But what can we really buy here, and what does make sense? Well, there is an overview. We can see it right here, market trends in the top left under the merchant caravan. There is a little button. When we click on it, we not only get a little bit of loot apparently, we also see all the resources. So for example, here we can see the resources we can buy in Rustport, and we can see, okay, when we sell those in Holy Stone, we make a profit of 489 gala coins. And in general, you want to start with the ones that give you the highest profit. The highest profit in this case, we can see 619 profit. We have here on a foxtail grass, and then we have the rainbow snapper with an absolutely ridiculous 1,862 base profit. So this is an absolute madness right there. So we want to go and get ourselves the, what was it? I already forgot it. The rainbow snapper and then foxtail grass. So there we want to buy as much as we can. I stocked up a little bit at the end of the last round already. So there we have it, the rainbow snapper. Those trade posts always have a little bit of limits. So they only have 30 in that case, which we can all buy, sure. But they might not recover when we now go to Holy Stone and then come back with other resources. Those might not recover, so keep that in mind. You can't just go and say, okay, I will just go get this super valuable resource, go back to Holy Stone, go back to Rustport, get it again. Won't work out because you won't have the option there. One thing that you can do is mark down, or in the case of selling, mark up. It usually increases or decreases your sell respectively purchase price by 2%. And for myself, I noticed that especially at the beginning, the 20 stamina that it costs you are such a substantial amount that it wasn't really worth it for me. I think at one point it might be 2%. Isn't too much of an increase or decrease to the purchase price, though. So in my opinion, it's not really worth it in most cases. So what you want to do now is you really want to fill up your cargo, which we just did with the foxtail grass that we saw was very valuable. And now we can cheat a little bit. And I want to show that to you guys. So one thing that we should have done, and I probably missed a little bit, honestly. Yeah, we should have bought a Jolly Clam. Ah, that was bad. That was bad. Okay, I made a little bit of an error here, I'll be honest with you guys. We should have bought one of those Jolly Clams, so now we have to sell one of those. Probably one that doesn't cost us too much. Okay, this one is probably fine. We just want to sell one, so that we can buy one more Jolly Clam. Because we want to make sure we can fulfill, we'll go to the Uru settlement. We want to make sure we can fulfill Smokey and Murky's request here, and that we were missing one Jolly Clam. So had to fix that real quickly, sorry for that. Now we can cheat a little bit. And the way we cheat is the following. We go in there and you can see we increased our cargo cap with that. So this is the only reason we can carry 202 things with us. What we want to do now is we want to get, of course, to the next settlement. And to do that, we have to pay stamina, which we don't really want to do. And one way to get around that is to reduce the stamina cost of traveling, which we can do with Chippy and with Sinbad. So now we switch out our cargo cap increasing escorts, and we put in our stamina reducing ones. And this, you can see, doesn't actually cost us any resources. So we still have 200 total resources in the back, but we only have a cap of 160. So what we can do now is we can go out of it, and this was 87 before. Now it costs us 64 to get to Holystone, so we can go there a whole lot cheaper. So now we go to Holystone. One of our passengers was at Holystone, so we brought Wala there, we get a few of the gala coins, we get a little bit of reputation. Of course, we can check out, okay, this guy also wants to rust out, which is very nice. Are the routes clear? Routes are clear, so this is also very good. We didn't spend any resources, and we now have a very, very good amount of stuff with us. We can go to the Uru settlement. So now we go to the Uru settlement, don't have to switch out escorts this time. Destination reached. Okay, Waylon, of course, wanted to go to Rustport, yes. Then we can actually switch our escorts again, because there's one more thing that we can do. This one doesn't really give us a whole lot. It's not too valuable actually for this. But what we can do is we can put Cassidy in there. Cassidy has the effect to increase selling prices in all towns by 2%. So we actually get more money that way. Now in the Uru settlement we see that we have the requested goods here by Smokey, which we definitely want to accept. So we sell that. And then we know, and at the trade station we can now get a big amount of money, because we have all those super valuable goods with us that we can do. I will show you the markup one time. The last time it was 2%, and the 20 stamina really didn't work out. Let's see if it's 2%. It says even price unchanged, so it did nothing on this one. It can be more, I guess, but didn't work out for us at all on this one. So I wouldn't recommend going for it. Just do more sales, keep the stamina, go somewhere else. And you can see just by checking out, and that we saw that this Rainbow Snapper had a huge price here. We can go and get ourselves 146,000 right there, which is absolutely ridiculous. Also boosted, of course, by the 2% we get extra from having Cassidy there. And this also leveled up our Uru clan, unlocks Fang, Necklace and Spice Box. So new resources that we also have in here, those are the Spice Box and the Fang Necklace. And you can see the prices on those are a lot higher. And in general, that shows us also that the sale prices of those will be a lot higher, which we can check out. Let's check out how expensive those are. Spice Box, we can get a profit in Rustport of 5,000 nearly. Same for the Fang Necklace. So absolutely insane prices. And this is the way you progress this. So you get more and more resources, you get more and more stuff. You want to optimize it a little bit. So now is again the time after we sold everything to switch back to our cargo combination, not the stamina cost, the cargo cap combination, bring our cargo cap up to 202 again. And now we can go ahead and we can clear routes, because we unlocked the next fight here. So let's do this very quickly. Usually those fights I noticed were fairly easy. We have the new skin on Ulmus as well, so this is pretty cool. And yeah, you can see very quick fight, not much happening there. We get a ton of resources, we get a ton of Rustport XP, you can see the reputation gained up there. And then of course we want to go ahead and we kind of want to get ourselves some new things. Holystone, okay, we can take her with us, that is very good. And I would say we just fill ourselves up here with a ton of those spice boxes. We want to get a ton of those. And then we can check again in the market trends which resources are very good for us. You kind of have to see one more thing, and I want to quickly explain that to you guys. You have to consider also the amount of stamina that this takes. So going from the Uru settlement to Rustport is of course substantially more stamina draining than just going from the Uru settlement to Holystone. So if you say, okay, I can sell one thing here at at Holy Stone, but I can get way more money at Rustport, then you kind of have to keep in mind, well, I kind of also have to use up double the stamina. Maybe I could do an additional trade if I didn't go there. So if you really want to max it out, well, you kind of have to calculate it. If you are just going for the highest price, it's usually fine, honestly. If you just say, okay, I fill up my bag here with all the stuff that gives us a lot of money, Wonder Fruits, Sandstone Nut, just say, okay, I go ahead and buy myself the top resources. So we have Sandstone Nut here, we fill our bag up with that, and then we have the Wonder Fruit. Let's, before we do this, check the active requests so that we don't again do this. So we have to do this in Holy Stone. So we have to sell some stuff in Holy Stone. We need 50 slots when we are in Holy Stone. So we're going to actually go ahead. We're going to buy this one again. We still want to fill up our bag here as much as we can. You can just go from top to bottom usually. So now our bag is full. Very, very good. Our routes are clear. We will go to Holy Stone after we actually switched again our escorts. There we go. This one in. Stamina cost of traveling goes down, so gets a lot cheaper. 48. We go to Holy Stone. Destination reached. Get ourselves some money there again. Passengers are not full. We still have him in there, so that is okay. At this trade station, we now want to sell 50 of our lowest selling stuff, which should honestly be the Scorpion Stinger. Is the Scorpion Stinger that much worse? Where is it? Scorpion Stinger. 764. And Blazing Orchids, 616. Oh, we have Snakebone Grass. So the Snakebone Grass is pretty decent in Holy Stone, but a lot worse there. Okay, so we definitely don't want to sell the Scorpion Stinger then. Wait, sell. Scorpion Stinger. Okay, we also don't have the other stuff. I don't know. I will compare it. Okay, we should sell the Scorpion Stinger, but before we do that, once again, switch up the escorts so that we get the extra 2%. Then we go ahead and then we sell our Scorpion Stingers over here, which are 53. We can just throw those out, which is no problem. Sell. Then we check out the active requests, and it's actually a lot of stuff that we do. Glowfly and Hexaflower is what we want to buy. 25 of each. So we have the Glowfly fruit here, which, oh yeah, we have to switch up our escorts once again. This is a little bit ridiculous, I know, but it really makes it a whole lot more efficient if you use the cargo cap stuff, because now we can go ahead, buy the 25 Glowfly fruit, because we now have the cargo for that, and then it was Hexaflower was the other 25, so we buy that as well. Let's check out if that is now fulfilled. Is fulfilled, very nice. And then we just take 3 of the most expensive stuff that they have here. That is usually the easy stuff. Bam, so that is filled up again. We have everything completed here. And then lastly, we switch our escorts again. Go for Sinbad, go for Chippy, minimal stamina cost. We can go to Rustport now. And that means Whalen can go out. In Rustport itself. Oh, let's switch. No, back in. Let's switch the escorts once again. We just have to switch Chippy out for the selling price from Cassidy. Then we can fulfill our requested goods here, which will give us a nice boost in Rustport. It's not the maximum. Oh, that is sad. And then we just sell all of our stuff. Again, markup, in my opinion, not worth it. We make big money here. Rustport goes level up, so we get new resources. We make big money once again. We still make big money. We're still making big money. And some extra money on top of that. And with that we are already at like 1 million. I think this is good enough for a guide. You just saw we can do the battle again. And this flow is what you continue throughout. This is just what you continue throughout. Those were like all the stuff that you can do with the escorts. I think many people miss that. I saw people that are substantially lower in whatever they do there, and at a lot less points, and you can really get a ton of loot that way. So I didn't show that yet, but we also have the quests, of course, that we completed. Daily quests, another 15k. Delivering requested goods, another 20k. And then we have the path to prosperity. And what we just did That is the loot that we got for that, so it's pretty decent amount. We're getting to the bigger loot now, we're getting to the stellar crystals. We still haven't finished this day. This was like half of this day basically, but I thought like a 90-minute video is far enough. That is way longer than I actually anticipated, but I wanted to show you the complete flow of the trading here, and the level up and what it really gives you, because once you level up the settlement you get the new resources. Those are really valuable. You can check out the new ones we got in Rustport here. Again, look at that, Inkfish at 27,000 profits. What the hell, is this a bug? That is some madness. They only have 5 of those. That is sad. That is sad that they only have 5 of those. Well, let's buy those. I want to have to secure my big profit here. That is, yeah, those are really valuable. So a ton of really valuable resources. We see the rainbow snapper that we bought last time isn't available right now, but like, yeah, this is the way this works. I hope this video helped you a little bit. We are going to do some more content on Cider and everything now. Again, I will also recommend this during the live stream, but if you want to save a little bit of money on those super good packs that we have at the moment right here, from the Festive Glorious pack, for example, which is basically the best pack we have ever seen in this game so far, then I recommend our sponsor to you guys. And of course that is LootBar, and LootBar has the best prices not only for Dragon Crystals but also for such packs in AFK Journey. So if you want to go ahead and get yourself even the Brian skin or something like this, you can go ahead and go on LootBar. I personally recommend the lock-in top-up, which will give you the best prizes that you can get, and there you can get the Festive Glorious pack, for example, for 88 USD, saving a ton over the price in game. For me, the price in game would be 120 USD, so that is pretty huge. And if you go through the link in the description and register your account, you usually get a discount coupon as well, sometimes up to 12% discount, which you can use for your purchases and save even more money. So definitely recommend you check that out and get yourself those packs for a little bit cheaper than otherwise. So I hope you enjoyed those events. I hope the tips helped you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and with that I wish you a great day and we'll see us in the next one.